Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another video with me, Lee, the Dorset Spur. I am proud to say international football is done. Yes, it's finished until March. Thank God for that. No more international breaks. Let's concentrate on what we're really interested in, which is the Premier League, right? I am obviously not a fan of international football unless it's a World Cup or unless it's a European Championships. I'm not interested in all of that because it's just friendlies and nonsense, and you're playing teams that are giving you false hope that you're a better country than you expect, and all the rest of it. And it's just boring. So, listen, for me, I'm glad it's all over. You might feel different. You might be big international football fans. You might love your country's football and all the rest of it, and that's okay. That's fair play to you. I'm not knocking you for it, but for me, I find it really, really boring. I haven't really enjoyed it since probably Italia 90, Euro 96. Being an old guy, those were the good times when you could really feel that a country were behind the team and you had an opportunity to really do something. Today's football seems to be really, really dross. Anyway, I'm digressing. Of course, I always do, don't I? I always end up rambling on about something that I probably shouldn't do. But listen, uh, football is back this weekend, and of course, after the debacle that was Ipswich, we have to be playing away from home, where we have been really, really poor this season, and we are not only away but away to the champions, Manchester City. Oh, it couldn't get much harder, could it? It couldn't get much harder than that. Probably playing away at Stamford Bridge or Anfield or even the Emirates, places where we just never get a result, could make it a little bit worse. But listen, this is Manchester City. They're going through a bit of a difficult patch, aren't they? They've lost 4 games on the bounce since playing us in the Carabao Cup, and they are kind of having a bit of a tough time. So fingers crossed that's going to continue, and that Tottenham are going to be able to um, get back to winning ways and really show something. And listen, I won't be surprised. Would you? Would you really be surprised if Tottenham didn't go up to the Etihad and come away with all 3 points? Would you be shocked? Is that not the essence of this term Spursy that we all hate? Lose at home to Ipswich, go to Manchester City and beat them. it would be sod's law. It really would. But listen, the reality is it's going to be a difficult day, isn't it? It's going to be a difficult day. And I just wonder, I don't know how you feel about this, but I wonder, do you think this is a free hit? Like, there is no expectation that Tottenham are going to win this game. Uh, in fact, probably the majority of people are going to predict a loss. Tottenham are going to get battered everywhere we go. So realistically, does it matter? Does it matter what happens at that game? Well, obviously, from a pride point of view and from a Tottenham fan point of view, of course it matters. We don't want to lose again because it just makes things even harder and builds even more pressure onto our manager and onto the squad, and creates that negativity that kind of flows through it all. When your team's winning, playing well, and doing well, everything's rosy in the garden. We saw that last season in the first 10 games. Everyone was loving Ange. Everyone was singing his name. The media were raving about him. The squad was great. It's growing. It's new. It's exciting, and all the rest of it. As soon as you come through a bit of a sticky patch, of course, everything's down in the dumps. Everything's negative, and everyone's on his back. Um, and I know there are a lot of people that watch these videos on my channel that are Ange out, that are not interested in him, think it's time to change, and so on, and they're entitled to that opinion, absolutely. And had we not had so much change over so many years, then I kind of think I'd I could probably get on that sort of train, because if this had been maybe the first or second manager since Pochettino, or in the last 20 years, we had only had 3 or 4, then I could kind of go, yeah, okay, look, things aren't going well, it's not probably working as well as it could be. But at this moment in time, with all the uproar and all the turnover and all the rest of it, I'm kind of just done. I just want a period of stability to see where it could actually take us if you were given time. Pochettino was given time, and towards the end, we were playing good football. We'd invested in the right ways, and we were kind of getting somewhere. And if it wasn't for Daniel Levy's penny pinching to try to get the stadium over the line and all the rest of it, we could have been doing this rebuild so much earlier. But he got his head turned by Jose Mourinho, who was able to say, it's just the players, they just need someone new, that's of a winning mentality to take them across the line. And that took us in that direction. And it clearly wasn't the right thing. The squad wasn't good enough, even for a manager of the quality of Jose Mourinho. And so it needed investment. Pochettino said it needed investment. And in the end, so did Jose, so did Conte. Everyone said that they needed investment. And even Conte said that there is a problem all the way through the club. So now we've got a manager in who is trying to change it all the way through the club. The mentality of the owner, the mentality of the coaching staff, the mentality of the fans, the mentality of the players. He wants to change it all. That's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time. So that's why I'm stuck in this rut of, I want to give him time. I want to see where it takes us. I want to see whether a change in mentality can be achieved, or whether we're just always destined to be this also ran nearly club that may go on a cup run here and there and potentially win something. Because I've said this before, and I'll say it again, we haven't won anything since the 80s of any significance. Early 80s, we was a great cup team, winning the FA Cup, winning the UEFA Cup and league cups and all that kind of stuff. We were a real great cup team that was always there or thereabouts. But the essence of football was changed. It's now about who spends the most money, that buys the most players, that has the best depth of squad, that just wins everything. You only got to look at the FA Cup, the League Cup, and the league to see how many clubs have won that in the last sort of 20 odd years. And you will see the recurring pattern of the same clubs winning it all the time. Of course, you're going to get an odd Leicester thrown in there. You're going to get an odd Wigan or Portsmouth thrown in there of winning one of these cups. But essentially, you will see Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, Man United. They will be the clubs that are continuously winning all of those competitions. And if you're truly honest with yourself, you will know that all of those clubs are big spending, big squad depth types of clubs that have managed to get hold of it and basically control the whole of the football pyramid. And that's really difficult to break into. It's really difficult to break into. We are not the only big club, or old big club, that are not picking up trophies and winning stuff. You've got the likes of Everton, who were massive. You've got the likes of Aston Villa, who was massive. You've got the likes of Newcastle United, who were supposed to be massive. You've got even if you go back to the Nottingham Forests or to the Leeds Uniteds, these clubs were big. These clubs were big clubs when I was growing up, and they were all dominated essentially at the time by Liverpool, who tended to win everything. Hence the reason why Liverpool are one of my least favourite clubs, because they just kept winning everything when I was growing up. A bit like a lot of people hate Man United for that same reason of that generation. So anyway, listen, I'm sorry, I'm waffling on, talking about stuff that's not really relevant. It's just how I'm feeling. It's my rambling rant of the day. for me, I just want to see some stability. I want to see us moving forward and see where this can take us. As it stands, we're still in the Carabao Cup. We're still in the Europa. We've got the FA Cup to come. Fingers crossed we get some favourable fixtures in that will give us an opportunity to take a run in it. And because the league is so congested, because no one is beating everybody apart from maybe Liverpool, the league positioning is still not dire. I know we're down to 10th, but we could have been third. A couple of wins here and there, and that all changes. It all changes, and Christmas is going to be a difficult period. We've got some big games coming up, some difficult games coming up. All games are difficult. All games are difficult. Ipswich was difficult. Palace was difficult. Leicester was difficult. These are all difficult games. You're not ever going to walk into a football match and go, right, this is going to be easy. This is going to be easy, and smash someone without really having to worry about it. The matches that we've won big. We've scored lots of goals, and we've performed well. In some of the games where we've not won, we've played fairly well. Brighton collapse. Crystal Palace didn't turn up. Ipswich didn't turn up. That's something that Ange has to get hold of, the inconsistencies of the players' attitudes. And what we also got to do is ensure that this squad is big enough and strong enough to compete on these fronts. 2 games a week. They didn't have it last season. They've got it this season. It's what they wanted. If they want to be the best, they've got to beat the best. So ultimately, this is where we are. January transfer window around the corner. Fingers crossed, Mr. Levy gets his hand out of his pocket and starts flashing the cash to give us some hope. But listen, we won't know. We don't know. We won't know till it happens. But listen, we'll take it. We'll see what happens. But I'm, for one, am glad to see that the Premier League is back. Tottenham are back, and I'm hoping for a win. And I'm going to predict an unbelievable 1-0 win. Are you having that? I don't know why. I don't know where that's coming from. But in my head, I'm going, feeling a 1-0. Feeling a 1-0 nick of it. I don't know. Dragushin and Davis as our centre-backs. We've had worse, right? We've had Emerson Royal at centre-back. And we still come away with a result. So listen, anything can happen. This is football. This is why we love football, because stuff like this happens. And when it does, we all go mad for it. Now, this could be the most ridiculous prediction ever. And if it is, it is. And I'll stand up and I'll be counted afterwards. But listen, at the end of the day, enjoy the game, enjoy the ride. This is Tottenham. We do it the hard way since 1882. But we're always going to be there because we're addicted. We're addicted to Tottenham, and we always will be. We'll never walk away. Okay, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Sorry again for rambling on and talking a load of nonsense. But some people actually like it, believe it or not. But thanks for watching. Appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one. Up the Spurs.